It was a dark and stormy night, the kind that sends a chill down your spine and makes you wish you were safe at home. The gusts of wind were howling like lost souls, and the intermittent flashes of lightning were the only respite from the inky blackness. In a bid to clear my mind after a grueling day, I found myself strolling down the deserted, flickering streets, the echo of my footsteps the only companion in the deafening silence. The distant rumble of thunder was soon punctuated by an eerie sight. There, under the dim glow of a streetlight, stood a figure, its face obscured by shadows. As I approached, the figure's face came into focus, elongated, mask-like, and unsettling. It held my gaze, an uncanny magnetism pulling me towards it. An icy fear crept up my spine, but I was transfixed, unable to look away. It seemed to be staring right at me, almost like it was beckoning me towards it. An eerie magnetism radiated from the figure, pulling me in with a force that felt stronger than my own will. I was trapped in its gaze, a prisoner to its inexplicable allure. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't break free. It was like I was caught in the web of a monstrous spider, my every instinct screaming at me to run, but my body refusing to obey. The figure stood still as a statue, its elongated face barely visible under the flickering glow of the solitary streetlight. Its eyes, or what I presumed were its eyes, were dark voids that seemed to penetrate straight into my soul. I felt a shiver run down my spine, cold and chilling like the wind that was now picking up around me. The air seemed to grow heavier with each passing second. I could hear my own breath, ragged and shaky, echoing in the silent night. My heart pounded in my chest like a drum, matching the rhythm of the distant thunder that rumbled in the background. It was as if time itself had stopped, surrendering to this strange and terrifying moment. And then, just as I felt I couldn't bear it any longer, the figure vanished. It was as if it had been swallowed by the darkness, leaving no trace of its existence. I blinked, half expecting it to reappear, but it was gone. The streetlight it had been standing under flickered once, twice, then returned to its steady glow, as if nothing had happened. I was left standing there, alone and petrified, in the middle of the deserted street. My mind raced, trying to make sense of the surreal encounter. But no explanation seemed to fit. It was like trying to piece together a puzzle with missing pieces. I couldn't move, couldn't even scream for help. I felt a cold dread settle in the pit of my stomach. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure was gone. The night was once again just a night, but it was a night I would never forget. I stood there for a few minutes, trying to make sense of what had just happened. The flickering streetlight cast long, eerie shadows that seemed to dance with the wind. A sense of foreboding filled the air. Then it happened. A cold hand, icy in fact, rested on my shoulder. My heart skipped a beat, my breath hitched in my throat. I spun around, expecting to see the figure with the elongated face, but there was no one. The empty street stared back at me, the silence deafening. The cold hand was gone, but the icy sensation lingered, seeping through my coat, chilling me to the bone. I shivered, not from the cold, but from the unsettling realization that I was not alone. Fear propelled my feet, and I quickly made my way home. The sense of unease followed me, a constant reminder of the mysterious figure under the flickering streetlight. I turned around, but there was no one there. The only thing left was a lingering chill in the air. I quickly made my way home, my heart racing with fear. The eerie silence of the night was punctuated by my rapid, shallow breaths, each one echoing the terror that gripped me. The image of that elongated face haunted every shadow, danced in every flickering streetlight. It was as if the figure had etched itself into my very soul, its presence a shroud of dread that clung to me long after our encounter. I found myself questioning the reality of that night. Was it just a trick of the light? A figment of my overworked imagination? Or was it something more sinister, a specter that had chosen me for reasons unknown? The questions swirled in my mind, each one more unsettling than the last. Yet, no answers came, only the cold, relentless fear. One thing is for sure, I'll never forget that late-night encounter with the mysterious figure possessing an elongated face, and I can only hope that I never come across it again.